Hey y'all, let's pull a message from your ancestors. What message do you have for the collective at this time? Help me to articulate a clear and concise message in order for it to be received and what is being the best to receive. Help me to see what this I need to speak the message across possible. And help me to deliver any messages to being ready to receive the Holy Spirit concise to humanity. What messages do you have for the collective at this time? Okay. So there's something that you are growing within right now. And your ancestors are encouraging you to kind of slow down and embrace the process of this growth, right? Don't rush the process of your expansion because when you rush the process of creation, it kind of messes with the outcome, right? Creation is a very delicate process. And this here is just encouraging you to kind of give grace to yourself, right? Allow things to play out how they're meant to. Don't try to force anything. Don't try to make anything grow faster than it's meant to, right? Because what happens to things that we kind of rush the delicate process of creation, right? Think about the food we eat, right? When the fruit that we eat are not grown organically, it's like GMO, right? It's not as healthy for you. It's not as beneficial. It doesn't have as many nutrients, right? It doesn't nourish and feed your body. It doesn't provide the necessary vitamins and things that you're supposed to receive from it, right? So be gentle and have grace within yourself during this process of creation because there are things that you are supposed to learn within this process that are going to encourage and help the process of this growth moving forward, right? But it's better to learn the lesson in the growing season than it is in the harvesting season, right? Mm. Hold on for a second. Let me just write that down. It's better to learn the lesson in the growing season than it is to learn the lesson in the harvesting season, right? Because if you wait, rush the process of creation, and then you get there, and then you realize, oh wow, none of the fruit that we have grew is even worth anything because it's basically empty calories, right? It doesn't provide any nutrition to what it is that we have the fruit that we have grew doesn't provide any nutrition to our bodies. So definitely have grace within yourself during this process. Try not to look, the Hierophant to the deck and the Hierophant and the Nine of Pentacles, right? Have grace and remain committed to understanding that this is a very delicate process, right? Things are meant to grow at a slow and steady pace. When things are grown at a rushed pace, you don't get as many benefits from it as you would if it was grown at a more intentional speed, right? A more, yeah, at a pace where you have the ability to kind of pay attention to the smaller, finer details, right? When you grow too fast, you don't have time to pay attention to the small details that make the biggest difference, right? It's the small details that make the biggest difference when you're harvesting in your garden, right? The acidity of the soil, the type of um, food that you feed your soil, right? How you prepare the soil and the water source that you use is ultimately what kind of encourages the healthiness and all of the benefits that the fruit provides, right? The more love and nature and nurture that you pour into your garden, the more it will feed you, right? Because the more attention and care that you pay to creating a healthy environment for these things to grow, it provides them with a better nutrient source, right? Which in essence makes a healthier you because now you're eating those healthier nutrients because you have the patience and the attention to kind of fine tune the smaller details to make sure that you're not just growing fruit, but you're growing healthy fruit, right? Fruit that has the ability to feed and nourish your body, not just give you empty calories, right? I hope that's making sense. So be graceful with yourself, right? Don't get frustrated with the process. Continue to grow at your own pace. Don't compare yourself to others in the midst of this growth because your growth is your own journey, right? You can't compare your growth to someone else's. You can't compare the growth of strawberries to the growth of pineapples. You can't compare the growth of pears to the growth of kiwis, right? They all grow at a different pace. They all need different things to sustain the life and that is their purpose to live, right? It's the same thing with you. You can't compare your journey to someone else's because your life is yours to live. You're being provided with the necessary guidance, nutrients, and attention that is needed for your personal journey, not the journey that someone else is going on, right? Clarify, slow down to relax. Yeah. Appreciate this process that you're in within this energy of growth and creation because it definitely feels like you're bringing something to life here. With concealed power, it's almost as if you are creating something with the intention of having a massive growth from it. And it does feel like there is massive growth here with the move forward, but it definitely feels like this is a slow and steady process, a slow and steady journey, right? A journey where it's not necessarily going to happen overnight. It's going to take your attention, your nurturing, your acknowledgement, right, in order for it to benefit you in the way that it's meant to. It's going to have to take your grace and your patience. Clarify, slow down to relax. One more card. Mm-hmm. The Eight of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Tower. 100%. This is it. Okay, we got the Seven of Swords at the bottom of the deck with the Ten of Pentacles underneath the Seven of Swords. Remember when I just said that this is something that you're not necessarily seeing the growth right now in this moment, but whatever it is that you're creating is going to bring forth the Ten of Pentacles. That's the ultimate fulfillment. That is a legacy that will live far beyond the reality that you're currently living in, right? So whatever it is that you're creating is not a quick 5-minute meal, right? It's a gourmet, like 7-course dinner. And so it's not, it just takes a little bit more preparation, right? This is not a meal that you can just like, this is something that is going to feed you for years beyond your existence within this reality. There's definitely an energy here of you being more attentive to what it is that you're creating, right? You being more attentive to the foundation that you're creating and being more aware of the stability, right? That you wish to receive from this creation. Don't just do things out of lack of patience or a sense of over being over eager to accomplish something, right? When you are pouring into whatever this is that you're bringing to life, whatever this is you're creating, if this is, this is a general reading, keep that in mind. So if this is a friendship, if this is a new business that you're creating, if this is a new family that you're creating, if this is whatever this is, however this relates to you, whatever it is that you're bringing in, be mindful to do things with pure intention so that the foundation is stable. Be aware of how this creation is going to affect others around you, right? And how, clarify this tower. What is the sense of enlightenment? What is the sense of awareness? The five of the five of wands and the queen of pentacles with the five of pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. So this is definitely the energy of like you not creating something out of the energy of like revenge, right? Whatever it is that you are bringing to life, make sure that it is something that you are creating with pure intention, right? Because if you are creating something out of the intention of a vengeful spirit, it is ultimately going to bring you back a harvest of lack because you weren't doing so with a pure intention, right? And so when you're creating with the intention to kind of bring forth a sense of clarity, healing, or it depends on like the vibration that you're creating within, right? When you create with good intentions, it brings forth a harvest that is a healthy harvest that is able to feed the community around you. But when you create out of the energy of the vengeful spirit, it just creates lack within your own life as a sense of return, right? That's a karmic cycle. Because you're not doing so within the energy of hoping to create and to bring more life. You're doing so out of the energy to get back at someone, right? Clarify, do not be frustrated. Clarify, do not be frustrated. The Eight of Pentacles and the Five of Cups. Yeah, with the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So don't allow yourself to kind of create out of this vengeful spirit, right? If you're creating something, You are, whatever this is that you're bringing to life, it feels like something that has the ability to kind of transform the world around you. Not just you, but the community that you exist within, right? You have the ability to kind of, this is almost like the energy of kind of like fit, like you provide inspiration, you provide a sense of encouragement, you provide a sense of acknowledgement, right? You make people feel seen in the areas in which they have never felt seen before, right? You nourish other people in a way that they have never experienced before. And the love that you give, the attention that you give, the care and the nourishment that you give has the ability to kind of create this sense of wellness within others because it's almost like an overflow, an overpour of emotion, right? Something that they may not have experienced in the past or have ever before, right? And so that because whatever it is that you're creating is affecting other people so heavily, it's best if you let it grow within its own time, handle with care, right? You want to be intentional about the things that you receive from what it is that you're creating, right? And the more time that you take to kind of create whatever this is, it gives you more time to be more aware of what it is that you truly hope to receive from this. What is your true goal? What is your true mission? And what is your true vision that you have for whatever this is that you're creating? That's that Ace of Wands and the the Tower card is kind of like, what is this? How is this influence or this sense of creation or this sense of passion going to affect those around you, those that it touches, right? It's going to bring some sense of enlightenment. It's going to bring, it's almost as if you're kind of like breaking down some sorts of like false identity, some sorts of like false um, existence, reality, false reality. You're breaking down barriers and you're encouraging people to kind of like live in their truth, like to work towards the things that they truly desire, not towards things that don't necessarily fulfill them. You encourage people to kind of move forward, right, from the things that were holding them back emotionally. Clarify this concealed power. The strength, yeah, yeah. With the Justice and the Knight of Pentacles, those both came out as well. So I'm gonna take it with the Queen of Wands to the bottom of the deck. The fire within you sparks a flame within other people, right? You make people aware of what it is that they have to offer. You show them a side of themselves that they may not have acknowledged or may not have been able to see within the current reality that they were living in. Hmm. The strength card. Yeah, you give people the power to keep going. You give them the courage to find that sense of balance, right? That sense of peace without having to seek revenge. The Queen of Wands. You definitely provide some source of power, some source of peace, some source of inspiration, encouragement, right? Because you have conquered the energy of embracing your vulnerability. And so it's almost as if whatever this is that you're creating is creating that same shift within the people that this creation will touch as well. It is a trickling effect, right? The Knight of Wands, I'm sorry, the Knight of Pentacles, the Prince of Pentacles, sometimes can represent like breadcrumbing, right? But this doesn't feel like breadcrumbing. This feels like planting seeds within other people that will then grow into its own form, right? How many trees can grow from one apple tree, right? And think of all the seeds that are then born within those apples, right? So think about how many people, whatever this, like use that as a measurement for how many people this creation is going to touch, right? Because you started with one apple seed, but that one apple seed grew a tree that bared 100 apples, right? And out of those 100 apples, how many seeds does each of those apples have within them that are able to plant more trees, that are able to, right, blossom more apples, right? So you have to think of it in that way. Like whatever it is that you're creating is not some small feature, right? It's something that is going to touch the lives of so many more people than I think that you even realize. All right, let's pull some. Let's close this out with an oracle deck. Any last messages that you have for the collective? Any last messages that you have for the collective at this time? Denial, growth, envy, worry, right? So this is just that intention, right? Not creating something out of us, the energy of revenge, but being acknowledged, right? Not also not being afraid of the growth that's going to come from this, because this is going to expand your life in more ways than one. So this is encouraging you to kind of face your fears throughout this project. Sit with yourself, be more attentive to the smaller areas in which this creation is going to affect not only you but the other people that this touches, right? And it says, I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. So this is definitely the sense of like you encouraging others to kind of, right, the worry card at the bottom of the deck. This is that energy of slow down to relax. Do not be frustrated, right? Don't be so anxious to create this that you are doing so mindlessly, right? You don't want to just kind of throw something together and pass it out. You want to be more attentive to how it's presented so that whatever it is that you're trying to get across is done so to the purest and highest form, so that the people are able to, the people who are meant to receive this, do so with the pure intention of the healthiest form of nourishment and growth, that whatever that this fruit has to offer. But that is the message that I have for you guys. Have a good one. Bye.